Welcome to the Apostolic Forum. I'm Dana Thompson, and today we have another exciting show for you. We're going to continue our dialogue on dating. And I have three brave, unmarried folk here with me today to continue to discuss this topic. Our first guest is named Josiah Bradley. How are you, Josiah?
I'm doing great, Mr. Dana.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you.
I'm going to come back to you, and since it's your first time on the broadcast, have you just tell us a little bit something about yourself so those who have been watching the Apostolic Forum can get to know you a little bit better, okay? And also we have Ariana Thompson, who was with us the last time on dating part number 1. Ariana, it's so brave of you to come back again.
Yes, of course.
So thank you so much for coming. And also we have the infamous Ethan Bradley. How are you, Ethan?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. I want to apologize. I know one of our cameras was going out the last time you were here, so you were in black and white on the second half of the show, but I made sure that we keep you in color this time. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Ethan was with us also on our first segment of dating part number 1. And Ethan, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
So, Josiah, why don't you just tell us a little bit something about yourself, and so we can just get to know you a little bit better.
Well, I'm a student and communications major, aspiring screenwriter, or wherever God might take me in a film production. Like to read, definitely love to write, and YouTube, if this is going on YouTube, one of my favorite shows on YouTube is Kev Jumba's shorts and Random Guys shorts, superhero parodies.
Wow. That's great. I don't know if you heard, but I was just looking at a clip a young man had done on YouTube. Did you hear about that? And he won a $30 million contract.
No, I didn't. Good
yes,
for him.
I have to make sure I send that to you. Just the way the world is going is so different from the way we're used to things being done. I mean, you don't hear about people landing $30 million contracts unless they have so much experience, have known somebody in the entertainment industry for this period of time, or, sort of, you have to have all these prerequisites. Now, people are just acknowledging talent and gifts on YouTube, and they're basically being paid for it. So YouTube I think is going to be the news and also the vehicle by which people be able to express themselves. So I only say that because I hope in your writing and the things that you plan on doing, your screenwriting, I hope you put some of your work on YouTube, because I'm sure somebody would see how talented you are, and maybe they want to ask you to write something for them.
Thank you. I've been encouraged too. Thank you.
Great. Well, guys, we're going to be talking about dating tonight. Very, very needed subject in our times. I'm really concerned, especially for our younger generation, that there's been no boundaries or standards set in aspects of dating. And while I think this whole idea of dating, courtship, we're going to use this on, synonymously, is one by which should be fun, because God, I think, encourage us to get to know people and build relationships. God is a relational God. That's why he said, let us make man, So from the very beginning, he was in relationship. And so this should be an exciting topic, because I know it's exciting in the heart of God. But the reason why it's also a sobering topic is because I've known some people who have been tremendously hurt by this word called dating and courtship, because they've even gotten to stages where people were engaged, and for some reason the engagement was called off, and people have been wounded as a result. And, depending on the person's maturity level and how much wisdom they have around them, a lot of people try to get back at persons by, just doing something crazy. And you just have all types of stories. So I'm just going to open up just by saying that it's my firm belief that dating does not hurt people. People hurt people. It's almost like a car does not kill people. Drunk drivers kill people. And I think sometimes we focus on the wrong aspects of a particular subject, such as dating, and we look at, no, I don't want to date. I don't want to even think about this term dating or courtship, because I've just been hurt too many times. And they look at the vehicle by which God uses for us to establish relationship with people, and we sort of put it on, put all the weight on that that attitude. So let me just start out by asking you, how does one get to a point of dating? What do you think? How does one get to a point of dating? Any of you guys want to jump on that?
Well,
Yes, Ethan.
I see that it's like a relation. It's more of a deepening relationship. You're getting to know someone a lot better. More of like you've known them for a while, or I don't really see many of the go up and just meet somebody and then all of a sudden you're just going out and stuff. I really hadn't really saw that. I need to know you. You know what I'm saying? So. I see it as, you have a good relationship. It's healthy. You have problems sometimes. Friends fight, but after all, the romantic feelings somehow come into play. The Lord might put it on your heart that all of a sudden, it can be something small. It's like that small thing in your head, like, oh my goodness, they're looking pretty, whatever. But it can be looks, but it's a little of everything: mindset, how they go about, how they treat other people, the way they act. Personality-wise, because dating and coming towards that is a lot of how they treat themselves, parents, and it just starts. It's more of a getting to know stage. That's why I see it. It's more of just trying to deepen the relationship.
Great. So you look at it it started from a standpoint of a deepening of a relationship. I think that's a good perspective of how to look at how people go about dating. Anybody want to add something else to that?
Well, I actually very much so agree with him. It is very much getting to know somebody in a different kind of way, because there's always I see it as like a target. There's different levels of relationships, and there's some relationships that will only get to a certain point because of the way that the person is. Mm-hmm. But there's some relationships that get farther, and it's like, well, this is a certain kind of person, they act this way. Well, let me get to know them in a different aspect.
Right.
So how would they treat me if I was this or stuff? So it's just really a testing period, just like, not necessarily testing, but like different to try it, see it, if it could possibly be in a manner of marriage and anything like that. So that's...
Okay. Josiah, did you have anything you want to add to that? How do people get to the point of dating?
I do agree with their points, and I think it's definitely a growth or a progression of a relationship. Mm-hmm. I guess a specific one, or some that maybe jump out to you in your group of friends, and things begin to progress, and you feel more comfortable, you feel maybe more trusting, maybe even a little more curious of who they really are. Maybe. So I think it's definitely I think you get to the point by noticing or picking up on cues that maybe they're not necessarily giving to you, but it may sound a little strange, but like life is giving to you, that something is pushing you a little bit, little by little, to pick up almost like breadcrumbs to get to know that person, to increase in growth and relationship with that person. Right.
Well, I like the symbolism you're using there, crumbs, because you're being careful, you're being calculated. You're saying a piece at a time. You didn't say a loaf of bread. You said, little crumbs here and there. And I agree with what all of you said. I think that's very, very important. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story. I know Ariana probably have heard this story, but my wife and I, when we first met each other, we didn't really like each other. We didn't, every time I would be around my friends, because we would do group activities together. Mm-hmm. And so I had like 4 friends and she had 4 friends, and we would always go and do things together. So it'd be 4 couples. Nobody was really serious, with one another. It was just group of women and guys who basically we all belonged to the same fellowship at the time, or the church at the time, and we just would go out. We would go on picnics, we would go to the beach, we would go on outings, we would just go to the mountains to